we are manifesting today, or at least checking in with you to see what is the one area in your life that you are not pleased with, and how are we going to shift that and how we're going to change that. I'll be on here for an hour, 8 o'clock till 8, and so much has happened. I have manifested so many things. We have manifested so many things, and that's just what we want to talk about tonight. You, if there's one area in your life, one area, and I'm telling you, Miss Jackson, it's something, because I saw your name pop up on one of my videos that you had liked it in a week ago, but I saw like 3 back-to-backs that you had liked, and I'm like, you know what? That's confirmation. But if there's one area in your life, that's what we want to talk about tonight. That one area, and some of you are already checking out. This is where we're going to start today in our general mindset. So here's the thing: if you are here and there is a shift that you want in a certain area, I'm going to help you do that. Okay. And this message is from the general mindset, just general, because I have 13 different 31-day intentions, and they're not just affirmations, because affirmations is just, sometimes it's just words, and you get to the point where I've been saying I'm wealthy, I've been saying I'm healthy, and ain't nothing shifted. Because you should set intentions, and that's what I'm about, setting intentions, because then that comes with action steps, right? Action steps. And we have been manifesting some amazing things in our life, overcoming a lot of things, and it's just so good. It's just so good when you take that power back into your hands. So first things first, think of one area in your life, just one. You might have 6, but think of one at least. This is one area in my life that I want to shift and I want to change. Okay, you got the area, you got it, boom. It could be health, it could be your children cutting up and acting like they don't know that they was born from you. It could be entrepreneurship, abundance, youthful living if you're getting older and people are telling you you're going to die tomorrow and all the things, right? Deconstruction, if you're still working out things with your faith. I still believe in God, but I'm hurt by the church, or I don't want none of it. We can talk about that, but that's really on my other channel. And we have love, or relationships, all the things. Okay. What is the one thing that you have said or spoken about that area today? It's going to be one of 3 things. Somebody can give me an example. You can type it in the chitty chat if you want to. You can type it in the chat and say, this is the area. You don't even have to be personal or tell all your business, okay? It could be, Dorian, I'm working on money, health, my children. I'm working on a parent. I even have one for parents, because sometimes it's not the kids. Sometimes it's you as the parent is the problem. Hey, this is my manifestation channel. Okay. Thank y'all for all the likes and the shares. So you could say, hey, I'm working on being a better parent. I'm working on entrepreneurship. Just type it in the chitty chat, right? Now, think about what you said about that area. If you're working on health today, and we're going to read it. This is where we're starting right here. Yep, my work and getting my own home. Let's start there. I'm so glad you know about separating channels. Yes, baby. Yeah, we don't do all of that over here, okay? Unless it applies, because I do have a deconstruction, 31-day deconstruction. You're working on your work, meaning entrepreneurship, or you just don't like your job, and getting your own home. Okay. Let's just start with the back part till you clarify what my work means. Let's say, okay, Dorian, I'm working on getting my own home. 3 things took place today. Either you said nothing about getting your own home, and I'm not going to pick on you. I'm talking about anybody. Let's just say you didn't say anything about that area, nothing. But you're telling me I want to be, wealthy. I'm looking for my own home. Did you say anything? Did you say something bad? Did you say something good? That's usually how this manifestation stuff works. Want to own my own business, but I don't know how to start. Boom. So for you, we're going to do some entrepreneurship for you tonight. You say, I want my own home. But sometimes people don't say nothing all day. It's just in their mind and in their thoughts, but you don't speak anything. So how is the outer world supposed to form all the ways that you need made for you in order to get the new home, right? Or you said something bad about it. I ain't gonna be able to get no house because my credit is just this, man. I wish I can get a new house. That ain't gonna happen. I guess I have to get married in order to get a new house. You said things that are not in alignment with getting a new house. Or you actually said something good. Yes, it feels so good to be in my new home, even though you're in your apartment or you're living with your mama or your daddy or whatever your situation is, right? So let's start with how we would implement that, and then we'll get into some entrepreneurship. So, whatever your area is, I trust in my manifestation abilities to live the life I desire and deserve. Today, I will physically see more and more desires unfolding. For some of you, the day is almost over. It's 7 o'clock where I'm at. But this is how you would start your day. This is day 28 because it's April 28th. You know what I'm saying? And these cards are all on my website. There's a link in the bio. It should be a link on this what you call this thing, this live in the TikTok shop. I don't have all of them in the TikTok shop, but they're on my website, Linktree bio. Boom. I trust in my manifestation abilities. Some of you don't even know you have manifestation abilities. And some of you know that you have them, but you don't know how to use them. You're using them to counter what you're saying. I want a new house, but I want a new house, but. Okay. So from this day forth, even though the day is almost over, you can screenshot and you can take that. And if you're just joining, we're going to do entrepreneurship. We can even do some abundance because a lot of people have issues with their money. Talk to yourself. First of all, tell me, do you believe this about yourself? You can type yes or no if you want to. It's just us. I trust in my manifestation abilities to live the life I desire and I deserve. Do you feel like you deserve and desire and deserve a new home? That's where it really starts. Because a lot of people will counter what they're manifesting. It sure would be nice. And when people say that, I know I grew up hearing that must be nice. Right. You trust in you happy medium. I know you do. I can tell by your name. Telepathic. Come on now. I trust in my manifestation abilities to live the life I desire and deserve. Okay, Jazz, in this safe space, what has either kept you or keeping you, or because you could be on track. You could be like, boom, I got this, Dorian. So, what is the one thing that you can say to all of us to help us, or help everybody that's watching? What do you think is either holding you back, has held you back, or what are you working on? Well, I will when I get my credit to this. So today, let's just say it was the morning, you would wake up and you would say, today, I will physically see more and more of what I deserve unfolding. You can. Sometimes I say deserve instead of desire because sometimes that can mean lack. But if you're mature enough spiritually, you know what I'm talking about. More of what I deserve is unfolding. Today I'm going to see it. Today I'm going to see it. That means I'm going to be driving and I'm going to see the exact car that I've been looking for. Today I'm going to see signs about my entrepreneurship. Today I'm going to physically see, and it's going to give me the confirmation I need that this thing is working. Okay. Today, I trust in my manifestation abilities. You should, because where you are right now, you manifested that. Thank you. And see, that's the thing that people have to take, accountability for. You've manifested everything. Your belief system, what you believed you can have at this point in life, you put yourself there. So why not believe for bigger, go for more, and trust in your manifestation abilities? So sometimes when you're in a certain area and you're like, man, something happened, I might have to downsize. I might have to downsize. I might have to, instead of doing that and say, wait a minute, I trust in my manifestation abilities. I manifested this before. Why would I think I have to downgrade? Why do I think I have to go smaller? No, I trust in my manifestation abilities to live the life I desire and I deserve for myself. And I even add the word design. So if yours is, getting a new house, what did you do today? If you don't mind telling us, ain't nobody messy over here. Okay. So we can talk, or you can go to my Skool community where we can really talk. What did you do today to show that I'm about to live in my new house? One of the things you could have done is actually lived in it while you're where you are. Meaning, would I put my feet up on this nice $10,000 couch, even though you sitting on a $500 couch? Would I bring this spaghetti plate into my mansion that has white carpet and would I eat in here like this? That means being in it right now. Okay. If it's a car, and I know I'm just talking about material things, but there's so much that you can manifest. I even have a peace of mind. Sometimes your mind, is not right to manifest. You begin purchasing things for a while before I had one, period. James got it. And you think that You think that it's just impossible. Here's what you have to do. You have to align to it. It's not about, oh, I'm creating a new reality. The reality already exists. You have to align to it. So James became a homeowner before he actually stepped into the home. And so every single day, you have to align to it. Okay? So you just be specific about what it is, And I've said this example before when I just could not work for somebody else, and somebody's kid in that classroom was about to get it. And I was about to be on the news with a mugshot like this because I didn't slap somebody's disrespectful child, and their mama was just disrespectful to me on the phone too, because I'm calling you about your child and you cussing me out because I'm calling you. It's like, no, I gotta go. And then the principal's coming and saying, just pass him, give him a 70. What? Okay. So that's how this works. And even if you are spiritual, even if you are in the church, it's all in your Bible. It is. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, but it's more than just speaking. It's about you being. When I got my first home, I was a single mother, 2 kids, living with my mom because I was taking care of my dad. And I decided I want a Perry home. So like James, I began to buy things. And you don't have to buy expensive things, especially if you're saving up for a house. Hey, just buy a towel that you think is going to go in the kitchen. You're putting yourself in it before it unfolds. And there's a card in here that talks about, I was there. Hello. I was there before I got there. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find that right now. So when you get up every day, you just become that. That's just how it works. And you've heard, if you're from my other channel, as a man thinks in his heart, so is the man. That's in the book over there that they read. Therefore, you have to become it. And then get up every day and set the intention. That's why they're called setting the intentions. Get up every day and I'm a millionaire today. So what would you do as a millionaire? As a millionaire, you would be watching things and watching TV shows that talk about investment. Thank you. That's what you would be watching, even if you don't understand what they're talking about, right? You wouldn't be watching things that promote poverty. If you're getting up every day saying, I'm a millionaire, affirmations, right? But the intentions, when you take affirmations to the next step, you take it to the next step with the intentions. And yes, and the cards are in my TikTok shop, but they're cheaper on my website. But TikTok won't let me promote my website. But they are cheaper. Anyways, when you get up and say, I'm a millionaire, but then you do broke people things. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a homeowner, but you do apartment living with somebody else things. You don't treat their stuff right. You don't make up your bed. You're living with somebody. You don't go in the kitchen and clean. You're not going to manifest anything. You're going to stay right where you are. Okay, let me just give y'all another example. Ooh, and let me tell you, if you're new here, every single one of these cards are my favorite. I'm always going to say this is my favorite because I really mean it. This is my favorite. Okay, honestly, I imagine what my life is going to be like in my new house so I can move out of my parents. Boom. Every day. And so what Jazz would do, you have to sit and meditate. Meditation is great. It's not new age. It's not new era. Meditate. That means I often look off into a whole nother area and I see another version of Dorian. For example, last year, I decided, you know what? I'm going to write a song about my person. Actually, I wrote the song years ago and I finished it this year. I started the song, right? I said, oh, excuse me. I said, I'm going to write a song and I'm going to do a video. So I began to see what I was going to wear in the music video. This was last September. The video is out. I manifested. I took this out of my mind, out of my head. And every day I saw myself and I did not negotiate. One thing you have to know is you don't negotiate. Doesn't matter what it looks like. You do not negotiate with your manifestations. You have to have a persistence in it. Because who's going to tell you no? If you're Black, has a Black person ever accomplished what you have? Yes. If you're a woman, if you're young, if you don't have a degree, if all those people have your situation and they accomplished it, you just have to get into alignment and trust in your manifestation abilities. I have nothing to lose by being persistent other than the very thing I truly desire for myself. You don't have nothing to lose. Whew. This is what you do have to lose, though. You have to lose your old identity. Like, I'm not the same person. And a lot of people do not understand it. They'll say you acting funny. They'll say you have mental issues. They'll say you're crazy. So you have to go off by yourself sometimes in order to manifest the biggest and greatest thing that you've ever manifested in your life. Okay. And, people will come from that other side. Like a lot of religious people will come to me and they'll say, oh, that's witchcraft. There's that. No, it's not. Because it doesn't matter what they say to me. Jesus went away for 40 days and 40 nights because he was getting ready to manifest something great. If you believe in that, that's all I'm saying. So it's all there. It's all real. It's all true. Just people just put different labels on it. But that's how it works. Everything you've ever manifested in your life, you did that. You saw a person, you saw a man, and you was like, ooh, I like him. He's cute. She's cute. And you set your intentions on being with that person. If you guys went through something, you set your intentions on us being back together. For example, if you are a woman or you're a man and you're with somebody, something happens, and then you set your intentions, we're going to get back together. It's going to be bigger than ever. That means you don't go out and date other people because you set your intentions. And even if you're just manifesting, I have that here, a love union, right? If you manifest a love union, I'm sorry, I covered up. If you're manifesting a love union, yes, Miss Jackson. If you're manifesting that, then you're going to start acting like that person is on their way. You're going to start working on your body. You're going to start working on your home. You're going to start working on a lot of different things that says, I'm ready for this. That's what it means. You're basically saying whatever you decided. If you just wake up and just like Jazz, like, okay, I'm ready to move. That means every day, hi Prince, that means every day I'm getting up as if I'm already there. That's how it happens. When people say a year from now, I'm going to be a millionaire. No, you won't, because you have to be it now. And that's what I was saying when I was manifesting myself out of debt, and me and the hubs were, yes, we're officially married. Me and the hubs were working on getting out of debt and starting to become investors. We started watching things about investment. We didn't know what we were talking about. In my abundance deck, I have one in here that manifests myself into being an investor. What does that mean? Why is that important? That means you have money, right? If you're going to be an investor, so I started calling myself an investor. I'm an investor. I invest in great properties. I invest in great ideas. I'm an investor. But I hadn't invested anything. But I wanted to be an investor. That means I have money, right? So I would watch the stock market, wouldn't know what they were talking about, and just hearing all the little numbers and everybody talking fast and seeing the arrows going up and talking about, baby, the stock market, it went down again, 13%. Don't know what I'm talking about, but it's about being in the frequency. It's about being in the energy. And then Jazz is saying, okay, I want a new house. Then you should be driving around in those areas. That's going to put your mindset into the kind of house that you want. So let's move on, unless y'all want to stay there. Thank you for the likes and shares. We're talking about entrepreneurship. Wealth does not always have to come from, your job. And it doesn't always have to come from you starting a business. Those are options. You can get money every single day. And that's one of my favorites too. I know I'm probably going to read it before this day is over because I love it. That every day is payday. You have to believe that every day is payday, because you will cut yourself off if you believe that you only get paid on the 1st and the 15th. One of my favorites. That's when I started finding money on the ground. And I'm not talking about quarters. I found 42 whole dollars. When I started believing I get money from everywhere, every source. There's sources all around me that provide me with what I need. People just give money to me. Then I saw a change, right? I started getting paid every single day. Entrepreneurship. If you are looking to start your own business, who told me that, Jazz? What kind of business? Where you at with that? You told me where you were with the house. You said you don't know how to get started. Where are you? If you're talking about, and here's the thing, all these principles apply. So even if entrepreneurship is not your thing, I'll be on here till 8 and yours is on money and you're waiting for me to get to money, you can still apply the same principles. You can. Where are you at with the business? You say, I don't know where to start. First of all, you can start there by saying, I know where to start. Manifest that you know how to start. And then the idea is going to come to you. I want us to be mindful of everything we say. I know you're saying it to me now in this safe space, but when you get off of here, you will manifest yourself knowing where to start. You see that? I know exactly where to start when it comes to starting my business. The answers just come to me all the time. And they come to me easily. I'll be in the store. I'm going to get my answers. My answers are already there. They're coming up out of me. They're coming to me. They're flowing to me. This is how powerful we are. And if you believe that life and death is in the power of the tongue, we just let that go over our head and we just let anything come out of our mouth. And sometimes it's because of the people that we're around. That's why I said you don't have anything to lose by going after what you're designing for yourself, but yourself. You have to lose yourself. You have to become a different version of yourself. You do. If I have one on eating habits, that's also one of my favorites because I used to be big back, wide back. I did jelly roll, belly roll, all of it. And I had to take 31 days to renew my mind. So I wrote, an intention set on eating habits. Okay. Let's go to entrepreneurship. If you say, I want to start a business and you say, I just got a small business. I can't stand it. People will come to me and they will say, hey, come speak at my business conference. Okay. And I've shared this story before, true story, that they will say, come and speak at our small business conference. And I teach people to not say those words because you constantly are speaking over it. This can apply to everything. And if you're just joining, I want you to think about today. It's 7:00. Think about the area that you're wanting to change in your life. What did you say about that area today? It was 3 things. You said nothing. You said nothing about having your business, successful. You said nothing about your new house. You said absolutely nothing. It was just in your mind, in your head. I want a new car. I want to start a new business. But if you don't say anything, you're telling the outer world, I agree with the way things are. You have to speak and form your world with your words. Yes, you do. That's why, sometimes guys be like, man, that's going to be my wife. And then they end up getting married because he said it out of his mouth. He set the intention and boom, he hit that. He got that. You know what I'm saying? That's my wife. That's going to be my wife or whatever. I'm going to own that car. I'm going to do this. When people say that I am, and they really set their intentions on it, the outer world is going to show you. This is what I mean when I say that I trust my manifestation abilities, and every day I'm going to see the fulfillment of it. Y'all know this has happened to you. When you set your eyes on a certain car, I'm going to get a white Cadillac. All of a sudden now all you see is white Cadillacs. White Cadillacs have been passing you forever. But it's a sign to say that's in my field, in my energy field, in my aura, and it's telling you that you can have it. That's what it's saying. It's saying that you can have that for the simple fact that now all I see, and if it's a certain type of man that you want, a certain type of woman, now you see a bunch of women that have that or women that look that way. You start saying, I'm going to own this type of property. Now, every time you turn on the TV, they're talking about owning property. That is a sign that the outer world hears you, whatever you believe. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm not here to tell you that it's God, that it's not God, that it's the spirit, it's not the spirit, that it's source, Christ, whatever resonates with you. That's all that matters, right? So if you're just joining, we're on entrepreneurship now, but we're on whatever we need to be on. So here's what you do. You start saying, I have amazing employees and assistants. I'm grateful that my company is bringing in funds to support them and their families as well. My assistant didn't know she was going to be my assistant, but I saw her one day and I said, she's going to be my assistant, right? And it took a year because she was doing some other things. Here's the thing. It's not about controlling people and saying, oh, that's going to be my wife. And, they live way across the world or whatever, and it's just impossible, okay? They could be in a polygamous relationship, and you're like, oh, that's going to be my wife, that's going to be my husband, whatever. It's not about controlling people or I'm just going to make her work for me. I just begin to say it because I begin to see it. I was like, man, she's going to be my assistant one day. Alyssa and Tiffany, right? And I'm like, they're going to be my assistants. They're going to be my assistants. And I used to just say it. I used to tell Dion, I'm like, hey, she's going to be my assistant. She's going to come work for me, right? A year later, she comes and she says, I'm quitting my job. And I was like, oh, right? Right? Had her come over, boom, pitched it to her, boom. But it has to be in alignment. That's what I mean when it comes to other people, because you're like, well, how do you manifest stuff when it comes to other people? That person has to be in alignment with what's going on with you, and you're in alignment with what they want. If they want to work in a fun environment with a fun, cute boss, period, then it's going to be in alignment. right? And if I want someone that has that kind of personality, you're going to attract it. So it's not forced. It's not somebody's what people fight over free will, no free will. It doesn't matter. It's about alignment. And that's how people come together. They come in alignment. Y'all ready to talk about some money or what? Health? Just put it in the chat. We can talk about money, health, some more mindset, just general mindset, eating habits. I said peace of mind already. Love, union. It's about becoming and aligning. Yes, you can get these cards on my website, but TikTok wants you to go to the TikTok shop. I don't have all of them in the TikTok shop. I'll probably have them all in there tonight or tomorrow, but they don't want me to promote my website, but they're in the TikTok. Health. All right. They are in the, and they're in booklet form and card form. Boom. Let's do health. Oh, I love health. I overcame 4 different things. Give me a number, Miss Jackson, between 1 and 31 because there's 31 days. We don't have to, and when you get them, you don't have to read day 28. You can read whichever one resonates with you. And sometimes you can stick to one and read it for days because that's the one that you need for yourself. So Miss Jackson, give me a number, 30. I'm going to read this one, but I'm feeling another one for you. This also has too many, right? Or Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Okay. This one, but I'm also feeling another one. Because when it comes to health, sometimes therapy is the answer. Therapy is for Black people. Therapy is for white people. Therapy is for any race. Therapy is for church folk. Therapy is for anyone. I align with therapy, counseling, coaching, or mentor online or in person that incites wholesome results in every area of my life. Because mental health goes with optimal health. Ooh, I told you. I said I felt another one for you, and that's the one. Boom shakalaka. That's what I say. And you know what? I said that before we read the card. I said, you don't always have to read the day. Sometimes you can just think of another. I'm going to read 2 for you. This one, oof, this one is so good. They're all so good. I'm going to read day 14 and day 12. So if you're dealing with some health issues, I am in alignment with the frequency of optimal health. I am self-aware of what my whole body needs, inside and out. It feels good to be in control of how I feel and heal. This is so thick. There's so much in it. Okay. So there's a frequency of everything. There's a frequency of poverty. What I mean by frequency is what is frequently said. So in poverty, what's frequently said is you ain't got a degree, you're going to be poor. You Black, you're going to be poor. You this, you're going to be poor. You came from a poor family. What is being said and thought frequently? And then there's also one of wealth, just like with health. You Black, you're going to get high blood pressure. You Black, and sometimes that's true because of our diet, right? There's a frequency. So if we're looking at health, I'm in alignment with the frequency of optimal health. And if you don't know what optimal health is, that's okay. Optimal health, that's why you saw me read about therapy. It's not just about physical. Optimal means every single area. Because why would you want to be physically healthy, but then mentally you off, right? So I'm in alignment with the frequency of optimal health, physically, spiritually, financially, in all the ways, right? I am self-aware of what my whole body needs, inside and out. It feels good to be in control. Let me break down the middle part and the bottom part. I am self-aware of what my whole body needs. That means when you start to feel something, like, okay, let's say you start feeling a headache. Before you run to take the medicine or the pills, now do what you got to do. I ain't gonna, disclaimer, do what you got to do. But before, sit with yourself, even if it's a minute or 2, and just be in tune. Like, what do you need? Because sometimes the medicine you take can make you worse. And you could just simply need some water. And there's a card in here that says, I just need to sit my butt down. It literally says that. Today, I just need to sit my behind down. So you speak to your body. And it feels good to be in control of how I heal and how I feel. Because sometimes the doctor doesn't have the answers. Sometimes they do. But sometimes it's you. Your body will tell you. And then you'll eat something. Your body, people talk about heartburn. No, that's your body talking to you. But I want us to know that the body is a natural healer. It'll heal itself. But sometimes you can just talk to it. I used to talk to the bald spot that was in the middle of my head. And now it's no longer balding because I spoke to it. Because there was a generational curse, if you want to say. There was a generational situation in my family, and they said, oh, everybody be bald up here. Everybody gets bald in the middle of their head in our family. And it was true. I was too. Even when I had a relaxer, even when I had my natural hair, it would be so long, and then it'll just be little spikes up here. My mama, everybody just bald up here to where some people in my family just shaved their whole head off. But I began to speak to it. I began to speak to the follicles, and I began to imagine myself with hair up there. I began to just see it. I began to see styles where I didn't always have to wear this to cover it up. I began to see my hair down without the spikes, right? And that's what I mean by I am self-aware of what my whole body needs. My body told me you need to go natural. You're going to have to stop putting the relaxers in your head. Stop wearing, I used to wear a lot of different wrong styles, right? To where I ain't even had no hairline. I got one now. But your body's going to tell you what you need. For some of you, it's not going natural. Some of it is you need to wear hair pieces. You need to do this. You need to do that. It's different for everybody. But it's about being aware of what your whole body needs. And I'm in control of how I feel and I heal, meaning that I don't always have to seek out outer healing for my body. I can speak to it, right? This is the other one I want to read because it's in alignment with what we just read on day 14. I trust my body's messages about what is good for me and what is not. I honor every signal my body gives me when it needs sleep, for restroom relief, clean food and drinks, and mental breaks. Oh, it's so good, right? I trust my body's messages. So if it's telling you something, you may need to go to the doctor. You may need to just go walking more. Whatever your body is telling you, go within and look for that the wholesome healing, okay? Because sometimes, and I know a lot of pastors got mad at me when I said sometimes your healing is in the grocery line and not in the prayer line. Y'all know we be eating stuff that we shouldn't eat. And then we looking around for a miracle. You know that. And so if your healing is tied to food issues, it could be anybody, then that's why we have the eating habits. Because I used to eat my emotions. And some of us are sick because of what we used to eat. If you're just joining, we're talking about the one area that you are wanting to work on. And 3 things happened today. Since the day is almost over, I'm going to be on here till 8. 3 things happened today. Did you say anything about the health today? Did you say anything about the money situation? And if you don't say anything, it's going to stay the same. You either didn't say anything, so it's going to stay the same. You talked in a way that you shouldn't have talked about it, which makes it stay the same or get worse. Or you actually said things like, it feels so good to be in optimal health. I love how my body gives me the answers that I need. I love how answers just come to me easily. Like you could be dealing with something. And then as soon as you turn on TikTok, have you been suffering from this, that, and that? And then it gives you a product, it gives you an idea. Oh, boom. And then something resonates within you that's what I need to do. All right. Anybody else? The one area that you're working on today, and what did you say about it? Do you need help with how to form your words to deal with whatever you're dealing with? This is the health one. Optimal health. Huh? And you don't need permission. This is the thing about when you manifest and you're aligning to a new reality. You don't need permission. You don't have to wait on anybody. You don't have to wait to sow a seed. You don't have to wait on a tarot reader. You don't have to wait on a pastor. You don't have to wait on anybody. You can get answers through all these different forms of people. But when I wake up every day and I look at certain areas in my life, I decide, okay, this is an area that I would like to see differently. Not an area that I want, because that means lack. Not an area that I desire, because that also means lack. If you're looking for a word, you could say, I am designing a life where I own my own home. I am designing a life where me and my partner, I am designing a life, because that opens it up. It opens it up when you say things like, I'm designing a life, and you begin to imagine it and you begin to see it. That's where it starts. Seeing that you deserve it and you can have that. And people always said about Walt Disney, They would say, oh man, if Walt Disney was here to see this, to see Disneyland and Disney World, he did see it. That's why we see it. He saw it before we did. He saw it in his head. He saw the big old Mickey Mouse ears. He saw the rides. He saw all the things, wrote it out, drew it out. So you have different modalities. People see it, they visualize it, they write it down. I write it down in present tense. Everything I have manifested in my life, everything is I designed it. I designed it for myself, right? I saw it and I didn't let nothing. It's not to say that things won't try to trick you. Because here's the thing, let's say, oh, I'm so excited. I'm enthused, Dorian. I'm ready. Then you get up in the morning, oh, we haven't did abundance. Let's go to abundance. You get up and you're like, okay, Dorian, boom, shakalaka. I'm ready to do this money thing. I'm ready to manifest myself into abundance and overflow. And then you wake up to a big bill. Like, dang, here's what's happening. You've been saying and living in that old reality for so long. You see this live. Who is this woman? I've never seen her. I'm going to do what she says. This is your first time saying that and hearing it. Okay. Some things can happen overnight depending on how far you set your intention. All right. Let's do abundance. Money, 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 money. There's 13 different areas that I talk about. This is from the abundance deck. Money, wealth. That's also a frequency. Remember, I was telling you that. Look at that. I choose to surround myself with people who speak the language of more than enough, abundance, wealth, riches, and financial increase. With all others, I use social distancing. And you can do that with kindness. But you cannot tell me, Dorian, I'm ready for wealth. I'm so tired of all these bills. I'm tired of all this debt. I'm tired of not being able to just go buy what I want when I want to buy it. But then you watch TV shows that talk about being broke. You come into agreement with people, and remember, it doesn't matter if we've already talked about entrepreneurship. You can't be around people that talk about having a small business if you want to have a business that's successful. You can't say I'm ready to walk in total wealth, but you're going to be around family members and friends that are always talking about, girl, this administration got me broke. And you're like, yeah, I know what you mean. You just came into agreement with that. But then you say, I'm wealthy. No, you're not. You have to find a way to speak, right? You got to find, first of all, you got to get into alignment with people who speak the language. You don't have to be rude to them. You can just say, well, I'm choosing a different reality for myself. I'm choosing a different outlook. And this is what I was saying about you have to be willing to become a different person, be ostracized, be looked at funny. You just have to be. And I don't mind being wealthy by myself. If that's what it means, I have a wealthy friend too. I'm just saying, if I have to be by myself to be wealthy, to be able to buy and do what I need to do and be able to help people, so be it. But when you come into agreement, and sometimes it's just so easy because they're your friends, they're your family. Girl, my legs just been hurting all week. I don't know what I'm going to do about this sickness. Girl, I hear you. You're coming into agreement. Okay? So you have to be able to lose yourself. I choose to surround myself. If you're on TikTok and you see them talking about something that's contrary to what you're designing, you have to scroll. I could not lose weight by sitting up watching mukbangs. And who does mukbangs eating salad and healthy food? I haven't seen it that much. But most of the mukbangs, basically when you see people eating and you just watch them eat, they don't say anything, they just eat. And they're eating a lot of food. There's no way I can sit there and watch that and still have, and not have a why back. I'm talking about me, because eating was my thing. I was hungry, I would eat. Not hungry, eat. Funeral, eat. Wedding, eat. Baby shower, eat. Wedding shower, eat. Bored, eat. Excited, eat. On vacation, eat. Breakfast, I'm eating. Thinking about lunch. Lunch, I'm thinking about dinner. I had a problem. So I had to literally move 4 hours away from where I was born because everybody around me was eat. Who cooking? So I can know if I'm going to eat, right? So I had to move away from people. And sometimes it's challenging because you could be married to somebody like that. So you just have to work with your partner. And Dion, we've talked about it. You know, when we first got together, boy, he had a mouth on him. Everything was death. Just, man, I'm just so sick. I'm just like, okay, listen. If you want to change that, you have to change what's coming out of your mouth. And I'm like a master manifester. So I watch my words, because why would I say anything out of my mouth now that I know the power of my words? Why would I say anything that is going to be contrary to what I'm wanting to? Now he catches himself. Now he's pretty much a master manifester, but he started to catch himself. And here we are. So, you know, if you do have a spouse that talks away, you just got to work with your person, you know, and then they'll start to see. So he's just as good as me. So anything else, I'll be on here about 15 more minutes. Any other areas? Let me see what is. Today's the 28th. Oh, I get so excited. This is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I'm going to do another one on abundance. I'm going to do today's. Today is the 28th. This is my favorite. My favorite. I am carefree, debt-free, concern-free, worry-free, and finally free. All is well. This is the only life I know now. My financial landscape is beautiful. Imagine saying this for 31 days, no matter what you saw, and feeling into that, and embracing that, and taking that. Life would be so much better for you, right? I'm finally free. And that could be anything. That could be in health. I'm finally free to be in optimal health. I know someone who said that they had lupus. And then I know somebody else who's like, I can't run because of this, that, and that. So, of course, you know, yes, I'm finally free. I talked her through it. Now she's getting up and walking around. What did I tell her to do? Start sitting up and seeing yourself walk to the mailbox. Man, start seeing it. Because before, she just saw herself having this issue with her legs. That's all she saw. Because that's what the doctor said. That's what mom and them said. Everybody get the gout in their leg. Everybody get the right? So she started to see. That's right, Ada. She started to see herself walking. She started to see herself moving a little faster. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just seeing yourself, right? All is well. And remember, they used to say that when we were in church, and some of you still that are in church, you hear that. How you doing? All is well. That comes out of the Bible. Here's the thing. That's in the book. But a lot of believers and Christians don't do that. Even when I was in the church, you wouldn't hear that all the time. You would hear everything that was not well, right? And then wonder why it would repeat. So if you don't learn anything, or if you have gotten anything out of today, we'll be on here another 13 minutes, is your words. I am finally free. It feels so good to be able to move my arms, and your arms could be just like this in a cast and everything, but you start to see yourself. You're telling your body, this is what I want. The brain doesn't know any difference. You're basically telling your brain, this is what I want to see. I want to see my hands moving, right? I am carefree, debt-free, concern-free. I'm worry-free, right? And the more you say it, then you feel. You feel like this is true. This is how things change in the outer world, how you feel when you say it. It's the intention behind it. Think about how powerful words are. If I call you a bitch, right? If I call you the B word and I'm mean and I'm angry, that's different from how they use it. Girl, you my bitch. Oh, that's my bitch, right? If you said the real word, the bitch word, it's the feeling behind it, right? Like them, oh, girl, them some bad shoes. Are they really bad? No, you're really saying they're good. So the universe doesn't know, the outer world doesn't know the difference. It's the feeling that you put behind it. And people say, you know, I'm wealthy. But you say it like that, I'm healthy. I am healthy though, versus I'm healthy. It feels so good. And you just feel better. Wouldn't you rather just say something good and positive? You feel better. And that's what's going to attract what you need. All right, any other ones before we leave? We got about 10 more minutes. Yes, you can get these on my website. I'm not supposed to say that. TikTok don't like it. The link is in the bio. They said I could say that. Link is in the bio. There's a TikTok shop. Let me do peace of mind. Some of your thoughts and your minds is also what's keeping you from manifesting. Peace of mind. Yeah. So if you're walking around here talking about my nerves are bad, you wonder why you're not manifesting. Let's see, which one do we want? Oh, this is a good one. Boom. Today's the 28th, but we're going to read day 14. I am at peace because I am supported by the entire universe. And we're going to talk about universe before you run off talking about witchcraft and new era. I am always taken care of. Answers always come to me and things always work out for me. Yes, they do. Okay, so you say, Dorian, this is from peace of mind. When you have peace of mind, if your health was right, if your finances were right, if your relationship was right, it all applies. So here we have, I'm always taken care of. And this is what I mean by the universe. Even if you say you believe in God and you say he created everything, wouldn't that mean he created people that make signs that you can read? He created people. He created all these different things, right? That's what I mean by the entire universe. So if I decide today, whatever you're deciding on, right? And then someone says, hey, I have a house that I want to sell for half the price if you're talking about a new house. That's still somebody supporting you. It can happen any kind of way. The entire universe supports me. So if I'm driving down the street and I'm looking for an answer, you see a billboard, you see a number, you see the very thing that you've been looking for, then boom, there's your answer. To me, that includes everything. If you say he created everything, right? I'm always taken care of. Just take that in. And you can apply it to whatever circumstance or situation that you're dealing with. Okay? I'm at peace. Sometimes that's where it starts before you even try to manifest anything. I'm at peace. I'm at peace because I'm always supported. And if you want to say I'm supported by God, who am I to tell you not to do that? I am at peace. I'm supported by the entire universe. I am always taken care of. Answers always come to me. And things always work out for me. If you just take that for today, or you take that for the week, things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. So when things come and the old reality keeps showing up as you are, aligning to a new reality, things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. Just stick with that. Just take that in. So that's day 14. That's from the peace of mind. Peace of mind, right? Did I just have that? Yes. That's from the peace of mind. They come in booklet form so you can take them with you. I needed to take the eating habits with me when I was working on my eating habits. So before we go, you can throw a topic or an area of life you're working on in the comments before I leave. This is my live to you, just to pour into you. We got about 7 minutes. If it's entrepreneurship, business, what else? Abundance, peace of mind, health. Or we can go ahead and just say good night, right? An area of life that you are working on. And I'll end with this if you don't have anything. If there's an area of life that you just want to design it. If you could snap your fingers, if you can write it out, that I am this, I am that, I am that. Relationship, health. What did you say about that area today? What did you say? Did you say anything? How do you expect it to change? What did you think about it? Did you think about what you were dealing with, or did you think about it in a different way? If you are dealing with a health issue, did you just think about how painful this is? Did you think about, I done had this for so long? Did you think about, the doctor said I'm going to be with it? Did you think a different way so that you can have a different way in that area? Or did you say nothing? Because if you say nothing, it'll stay that way. You have a business, you started the business, but you just started the business. You don't say anything. That has to be your baby. That's something, just like you have a baby in real life, you speak to your baby every day, or that baby's going to die. It is studies that say if you put somebody on an island by themselves for too long, Without physical touch and communication, a baby, I'm talking about a baby, they'll die. A whole baby will die if they don't have, it's not just the food and the water, that lack of touch and communication and talking. So if you started something and you manifest it and you're starting and you don't speak to it, it's going to die. It's going to die. Go look it up. It was a Chinese study. Because remember, in China, back in the day, you could only have one child, two childs, two children, two children. And if it was a girl, they would kind of push them to the side and put them in homes. Study it. I'm telling you, go look it up. This is tied to manifestation. If they had a girl, they would put them in little orphans, babies, because men, they wanted boys and they didn't like girls. Study shows that those little baby girls died because the nurses and people weren't talking to them. They weren't communicating. There was no touch. There was no talk. So if you tell me today, I'm starting a business, Dorian, or you already have a business and you just let it die. You had a wealth plan that, in 3 months, I was going to be out of it. After the first month, you didn't see what you want to see, so you just let it die. Stop talking to it. So if we don't learn anything else tonight, okay, if today was a bust, today was a dud, you're like, Dorian, I ain't speak over my manifestations today. I ain't even talk about it. I ain't think about it. And if I did speak over it, I spoke trash about it. I'm so tired of this. I wish I had never started this business. Ain't nobody buying my stuff. Okay, well, there you go. I speak to my knees when arthritis tries to overtake with pain. I exercise and speak to my knee, period. There it is. Period. If you don't say anything, it's going to say the same. Speak to it. I do the same thing. When I exercise and something want to pop, start speaking to it. It feels so good to move freely. It feels so good. Because here's what's going to happen. Okay, let's say, Ada, she's like, I'm speaking to my knee. What happened to me, I started seeing videos on why it was happening. I'm like, dang, I drink enough water to feel the sea, and I need to drink more water. And I started drinking more water, boom, more fluid. I'm 46. So, of course, there's going to be different things I got to do to keep my joints moving. I don't always have to run to the doctor or run to Walgreens or run to some place. I just start speaking to my body, and then the outer world responds with the answers that I need. My mother used to always claim her arthritis, and I would always say, I will not inherit that. Boom, shakalaka. That's what I'm saying. I said, I'm not going to inherit the baldness at the top of my head. For a while, I did, because I didn't. Here's where I was. I wasn't claiming it, but I just wasn't saying anything. I was just looking at everybody bald at the top of their head in my family. And so I was too. I'm talking about into my adult years, until I started speaking to the top of my head, speaking to it what I wanted to see. And I have to keep speaking to it. That's why I take these things with me. Speaking to my knees, speaking to my joints. That's right. Claiming it for what? Hi, Miss Glee. Very good. Anything else before we go? Yeah, if today was a bust and you didn't speak over the thingy and you let it die, and it's time for you to start speaking life into the dead things that you have let die. It could be a love relationship that you've given up on. It's just too much out there. I was done too, especially after being married to the pastor man and divorcing and just, I'm done. I begin to design the person that I want. I know a lot of women are done with men. I know that. I see it all the time. And people will try to drag me into that. How can I, when I literally designed, I was done, for real. I was done for a good 5, 6, 7 years. 12 plus 7, 5 years. Done. Okay? Just know. Everybody I was with was a minister or a pastor. I'm good. If the ones that claim God are trash, I know y'all out here, but that was total opposite. So I just began to design my partner. That's why I created the Love Union Time. It's cards or book form. Then I went further. We did this one together. He's in there with the boys, so usually he comes on here with me. Boom shakalaka. I created these. Her to him and him to her, because sometimes, okay, boom, I manifest a love union, right? I manifest somebody in my life. And you don't have to, if you do women do women, I don't care. I don't judge. I said, okay, you know what? I don't want to do this life by myself. I can. I did it for years, even while I was married to the pastor man. Even while I was married to him, I was still single. And some of y'all know what that looks like. But I just said, forget this love thing. I'm done. And I just started to put all my work into my first album, my second album, my books, and just put myself into work. And I said, you know what? When I do this again, I'm going to design my partner. The first time around, the churches, they told me who to be with. That's why all that stuff didn't work. But this time I took the power into my own hands. What we started with a different card. And I took it into my own hand. I said, you know what? This is the kind of partner I'm going to design for myself. So I created the love union, and I began to say things like, we love easy. Let me just show y'all one real quick. This was before it was a reality for me. And don't be trying to get up out of here because I'm talking about love. Shoot, some of y'all need somebody in your life. That's why you're so stressed. But you don't need just somebody. You need somebody that you design and create for yourself. So this is what I did. I said, we love easy. We communicate easy. We spend time together easy. We grow together easy. We go together easy. There's a spirit of ease and tranquility on and over this relationship that fosters growth. This was before he was even a reality. And if you look at it, this is exactly the opposite of what I had. You may not believe it, but this is my reality today. Doesn't raise his voice. We communicate easy. It's just a chill, easy. Not all that screaming and yelling, slamming toilet seats, punching me in the face, pushing me downstairs, hit me with a belt, pushing me out the car while it's moving. None of that. And that was from a pastor's. Those are from ministers. Okay? And if I name some of them, you would know who they are. But I designed that. So when he came into my life, this is what it was. Right? And so what I say is, yes, I manifested that. And then when we got together, I said, you know what? We can't stop there. So then I created her to him, because sometimes women, you don't know how to talk to men because you weren't trained, you don't know. And I did a him to her because sometimes men don't know how to deal with women. You know why? Because in the church, go ahead and get married so you don't burn. Or everybody in our family marries this type of person. Everybody not, and then you get married for the wrong reasons and you don't even know what you're doing. You're just having kids and getting married and sitting there miserable. So we are still manifesting the best version of ourselves. So even if you manifest a partner, a love partner, that's not what we're talking about tonight completely. But even if you manifest a love partner, you still have to keep manifesting the best version of themselves. So that's it for tonight. We talked about, just to summarize, if you just got here, we were talking about the one area in your life that you're looking to shift and change, that you would rather it not be that way. And what did you say about it today? If you said nothing, it's going to stay the same. If you spoke bad about it, it's going to get worse. But let's work on, if it's money, health, entrepreneurship, work on what you're saying about it so you can shift it. Speak what you are designing and what you want it to look like, okay, so that it can shift and change. That's how you set your intentions. Anyways, the cards and the booklets are in the bio. Some of them are in the TikTok shop. I will put the rest in there, but they're cheaper on my website, iamdorian.com. But TikTok doesn't want me to promote my own website. Or you can just message me and I'll send you the link. All right. Good night. Yes.